You know when you think you have every piece of gear imaginable to shoot your YouTube video or whatever it is you're shooting, you go to set up your mic, you go to attach everything, you get your little spigot container, and you realize you don't have the one thing to attach the mic to your tiny Manfrotto tripod stand. So we gaffed it, and I don't want to hear anything about it. We're moving past it. Today we're doing something a little different, a little more fun. We're going to be reacting to different photographers' photos and how they were shot. Josh, my editor, prepared these photos for me. I haven't seen any of them, and what we're gonna do is look at the final photo first. I'll guess, I'll speculate on how it was photographed, how it was created, and then after we'll look at the behind the scenes photo of how it was actually shot, and we'll see whether I was right or wrong. Most likely I'm gonna be wrong, but the whole point of today is just to react to the amazing creativity and innovation that all of these creators had in taking these photos. So, photo number one. It is a ballerina woman underwater. Is she a ballerina? Or is she just a dancing lady underwater? I mean, normally when I see photos like this, first of all, it's stunning. I should say that just right off the bat. But usually when I see photos like this, I assume that everything was done in post. So I think that she was shot on a green screen. They lit it similarly, the bubbles are done in post. This room is probably real, and they could have added like a blue gradient or something, and maybe like a little bit of Gaussian blur just to make it look like it's water and it's actually, you know, hard to see through. Anyways, I think this was all done in post, and I mean, I think that's reasonable. Like, who would create a room that's underwater? Okay, now we're gonna take a look at how this was actually shot. No! You're telling me this is a room that someone built? Is this like a swimming pool? And someone like created a room underwater? Is this like a set? Is this like a place you can go and like rent an underwater like shooting space or something? Okay, here's my other question. Do we think that these people in the scuba gear, are they like actual PAs and set designers, or are they scuba professionals, you know? Like, who do you hire for this type of thing? Do you train the artists and the actual on-set crew to be able to carry themselves underwater, or do you just get other people who don't know what they're doing? Because that could really slow you down. I'm just like genuinely impressed. Is she wearing ankle weights? I have so many questions. First of all, like, how much did this cost? I'll tell you one thing, I have never shot anything like this in my life, and I probably never will, because that just looks really freaking hard. Next photo. I feel inadequate already. Okay, it's another like underwater kind of one. I think you could recreate this. I don't want to be wrong again, because like I don't think this person's underwater, just based on like how their hair looks. Like, their hair is wet, but that's not how your hair looks underwater. Like, when you're underwater, it's kind of like when you're in space and it like floats everywhere and you look crazy. Gravity is still having an effect on this guy's face, so I don't think they're underwater. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. How they're creating this effect, I think maybe some kind of like blue diffusion that they've created like custom for this, and they're shooting like that's over top of him, and maybe they have a light, like it could be in a studio, or maybe it's the sun, I don't know. Oh, wow, it is in a studio. Wow, that's smart. That is creativity right there. That is not just like a creative concept, but that's just additional creativity in thinking about how to shoot this that way. Where did they get a bin that big to put water in? And they're using, I can't see what kind of light it is, but just a really strong, harsh light to mimic sunlight. A blue backdrop on the ground. They're using some apple boxes. What I love the most about this, okay, is that this girl's job in this photo looks like her entire reason for being there is just to judge the water around. She just, all day. And they're like, no, more, like more. And she's like, okay. And they're like, okay, Sarah, you can go home. And she's like, oh, my wrist, you know? All right, next photo. Oh, I love this. That's a great idea. You're kind of creating symmetry with the sand. Is there a way that this needed to be taken that wasn't just normal, like being outside and just dropping some sand in front of your face? Is there something I'm missing? Okay, well, it's definitely a fairly slow shutter because the sand is blurred. The sun if we're outside, which I think we're outside, is very bright behind her. So there isn't much light on her face. Maybe there's a bounce. Maybe it's just ambient light that is still lighting her face. Or maybe we brought up the shadows in post. Hold on, there's a catch light in her eye. Looking so close into her pupils right now. She and I are having a moment. Okay, now I feel like I see a softbox. So now I'm thinking this is in a studio. You ever do that when you see a photo, you just like look right into their pupil to see like what's actually going on? You can see the whole scene. So maybe, am I cheating by doing that? Or am I smart? No, that's a TV. Okay, that's why it's so bright. Yo, that is creative. That is some like quarantine level creativity. I don't know how else to put it. So oh my, and the mirror is it's like one of those mirrors you use to do your makeup that has like a light built inside of it. Good for you. I was fooled. So that's the light I saw, but it didn't look like a ring light. Wow, I've been bamboozled. I didn't realize these would make me feel bad about myself, but that's fine. I'm not as creative as I thought I was until today. That's what we're learning. You have no excuses. There are zero excuses. Before we go into the rest of the video, I just want to take a quick sec to shout out the sponsor of today's video, Lenovo. We've been viewing all of the photos for today's video on this beautiful 2-in-1 laptop. Let me just take the light off to show you. This is the Lenovo Yoga 7i 2-in-1 laptop and tablet. It features a 14-inch full HD display with Intel Iris Xe graphics, meaning that for viewing these photos today provides us with ample details and color accuracy. Inside the computer, we've got an 11th generation Intel i5 Evo processor running Windows 10. The battery in the Yoga 7i is actually amazing. It charges 80% of it in just 30 minutes, so we actually realized before this video this was completely dead, charged it up really quickly, and we made it in time to start our shoot on schedule. So when I'm not shooting and I'm precisely 3 feet that way laying on my couch, this is also a great entertainment device. It has a 360 hinge to turn this laptop into a tablet for a seamless viewing and interactive experience. And another thing is the Dolby Atmos speaker system combined with the ultra narrow bezels on the display makes for a super immersive viewing experience. And now let's look at some more of these photos. Chris would love this, loves a good car photo, and here I am. I love taking car photos too, just not as much as he does, okay? Hold on, is that snow and water? I thought this was taken on a beach. Okay, it looks like is that dust or smoke or like steam or like, what is that? Something's fake. Something isn't right. This isn't a real place. Just because of like the environment and the different elements I see going on here, this is not a real location. Looking deep into this now, I'm looking for flaws. So there's a couple little flares coming off of the car itself. Don't think those are real. Is there a person? May or may not be a person in the car, I cannot tell. Okay, I give up. I don't know. Something about that photo is wrong. Like there's a couple giveaways that make it seem fake, but I don't know what. No! What? Wow. That's why. It's a tiny car. It's a tiny car on a tiny fake landscape. That's why there's like snow. It's not real. The dude's on a beach. It is a beautiful sunny day. I think the lens flares on the car are still false. And then he's throwing OxyClean or like dishwashing something onto the... Good for you, sir. I was fooled. So you see, you don't need a really nice car. We're learning so much. You don't need a nice expensive car. You don't need to have someone lend you a car for a day to take a great car photo. You can just get like a Bristol board, some craft supplies, maybe a beach is nearby your house, or maybe take it to the park, I don't know, and you can take a great car photo. But I'm also a little mad that I'm this bamboozled so many times. That's pretty. She looks a little soft though. Like she looks a little out of focus, that's all I'm gonna say. But it is a pretty photo, it's very artistic. It looks like they're shooting through, it looks like glass or like different glasses, like wine glasses because of the shape of this one. I would say wine glasses are like crystals and they're probably using like maybe you could use Christmas lights or something to something to refract light off of all the different glasses. I have no idea where this is because I can't see the background, but it's a pretty effect. It's kind of like we've seen about 1,000 million times people take photos by like holding a string of Christmas lights out towards a camera. It's kind of a similar effect, but that's why like shooting through stuff always looks cool. Especially like shiny, reflective, glowy things. but do I know what she's shooting through? It's a chandelier. I was warm. I'm gonna give myself that one, okay? That was, I said crystals. There's crystals on the chandelier. There's some light. That's a smart idea. So if you have a chandelier in your home, that's a great idea for a portrait. What a fantastic, like, self-portrait at home idea, hack, whatever you wanna call it. Fantastic. That is so cool. You can't see her arm doing that. That would have been cool maybe if it was a little wider, like maybe if they brought her arm like closer to her face so you could see that more. That's a really neat idea. All right, we've got 2 of these left. These are fun. Let me know if you guys like this and you want me to do it again. It's a burger, something I can't eat right now, which is very sad. I'm on a health kick if you didn't know. So first of all, I want to eat this. Second of all, I guess this is so they like label all the different ingredients on the burger. Man, food, photography, and videography for commercials is insane. This probably isn't even real food. Green tomatoes? I don't know about that. There's probably 1,000,001 lights. This is in a studio, certainly. The background is not real. It's definitely not shot on a black background. That is definitely added afterwards. Probably each of these are shot one at a time, I would say, and then they built it after. Like, there's no way they're all like hanging like this. That would just be silly because you could clearly build this in post. Why? Why would you do this to yourself? That is so unnecessary. It is shot on a black background. Then you probably could have done a better job because it looks fake. Okay, so they've got a couple constant lights. They've got diffusion, something soft coming from the side. They shot it on a, I'm confused. I can't tell if they shot it with the flag as the background or if they're shooting it towards this like black wall here. Okay, that I can't really tell. Are those like pipe cleaners? Like, what are they holding them up with? I think it's just wire. You know what it looks like? It looks like a clothing hanger that they just bent out of shape. Good for you for trying to take a food photo. These are really hard. They are very challenging for this reason. This looks like a lot of coordination. Was it in vain for this photo? I would say a little bit yes, because it's okay. You already had to take that piece of glass out for the tomatoes. Like, you already had to do all this other effort. Maybe they did put the background in after, but why did you need to shoot it? Like, you could have shot them one by one. Like, why did you, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, because I don't take these types of photos. That's all I have to say about that. I don't think that's ever gonna be my style of photography, is taking photos of food, because you know what? I would just eat the food. Anybody else here just eat the food? Thank you. All right, last photo. It's a woman through some icicles. Those don't look like real icicles. Maybe they are. Is she actually outside? It looks like fall. It looks like this was taken in the fall and they tried to make this look like it was taken at a different time of year. Pretty much everything else, like she's got some leaves. Those don't look real. Like, not a lot of this looks real. Like, maybe she was shot somewhere completely different and then they added in this background, they added in the icicles, they added in the snow. I don't think the snow is real, that's for sure. Because of the orange in it, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this was taken in a different season, and maybe that's the whole thing that Josh is trying to trick me with right now. Maybe he's like, oh, Lizzie, you don't know what season this was taken in. Guessed it. I wanna be right. Because this is the last one, I really wanna be right. Is he holding a singular icicle? And they're just taking it. Okay, well, I was right about the season. I was right. Thank you. What that can is, I don't really understand. Is it like a snow spray? So maybe he was holding one icicle and then did the snow spray and then he just added in more icicles after. That I could tell. Good for you for trying. I could tell. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite. Okay, just to sum this up, very impressed overall with the creativity and the bamboozling that happened. Yes, the wool was hypothetically pulled over my eyes many times. I am impressed. This was a fun time. I enjoyed the guessing. I enjoyed seeing the results, the beautiful photos. Great job. If someone who took these photos happens to stumble across this video, great work, great bamboozling, great effects and effort, and just, you wanted to take a certain photo and you didn't let anybody else tell you whether you could do it or not, and you just did it anyways and you made it work and you made your idea come to life. So good for you. Thank you all for watching this video. So if you like this video and you want to see more like this, let me know in the comments below. Please give this video please give this video a like if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell to get notified for all future videos. No one watches this part anyway, but if you did, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.